Look at the colors surrounding me right now. Beautiful, gorgeous fall day. So, how do we stay high vibe, right? Because there's some days where my mood is low, I'm not in the greatest mindset, I want to stay home and just sleep in bed all day and everything is too hard, you know. I know there's days when we discourage ourselves, right? We set up ourselves for failure, like we assume we're gonna fail even before we try. That mindset is very small, right? It's a very small mindset. And today I'm in a very powerful mood. I'm expanding my energy. I feel like a very big person, like I know that it's all up to me. I can make it happen, right? I can make it happen. It's all about that mindset, right? So how do we stay high vibe, right? How do we have more days like this one where we have a very positive mood and a very happy mood, and things are going our way, because what you give is what you get, and law of attraction, we put that good energy out there, we get it back, right? So for me, mornings are crucial, and I highly recommend waking up earlier than you usually do. Because when you wake up earlier than you usually do, you feel like you're already, up. You're already like up in the points, if you will. Like you already have like extra time. If you want to take a really long bath, you can do that. But for me, the hardest thing that I want to do is right in the morning. So like if I have a project that I need to take care of, anything that I want to do, I want to do it right in the morning, because the morning time is when I have my energy, my most energy. My battery is recharged, right? I just came from sleeping, and I just, I have this very powerful energy, and like I can just go ahead and do it. If you wait throughout your day to like kind of, if you procrastinate, by the time the afternoon comes, it's harder to get that like discipline and motivate yourself to get going with your goals. So for me, like owning my mornings and having that time in the morning, just for myself, to write down in my journal. And something that I wake up, that I ask myself every morning is, who do I want to be today, and how do I want to achieve that, right? Like what's the best scenario of my day, and how do I accomplish that, right? Someone that really inspires me, of course, my number one inspiration, my husband. But I also really, really, really get a lot of inspiration from Tony Robbins, and also Dr. Joe Dispenza. He's just really powerful, just listening to him. Maybe you're cleaning the house, you could just listen to him, watch his videos, and it's funny where your mind will go, just listening to these meditations, to these just podcasts of just him talking about, how we are as humans, how momentum just takes over, a word, a simple feeling, an action, and something that I was thinking about was, just because something is familiar doesn't mean necessarily that it's good, right? Like maybe you say to yourself, well, I've been doing this my whole life. I've been doing this for 25 years. This is just who I am. It's part of my identity, right? Breaking away from that, breaking the habit of becoming yourself, right? Like of being yourself. So it's like, you really have to ask yourself, just because it's familiar, just because it's in your comfort zone, just because you're so used to talking down to yourself and saying that you can't do it, and just having all this negative self-talk, or being a people pleaser, just because you're so attached to it doesn't mean it needs to define you. Like I always say, to define is to limit. The more definitions you're giving yourself, the more you're putting yourself in a box. You say to yourself, well, it's because of my age that I make this much money. It's because of the way that I look. That's because of, that's why I get this amount of respect from others. It's because of the way that I look. Or you say to yourself, it's because of my job, or it's because of my ethnicity, or it's because of my gender. Like you're making excuses, So you really have to ask yourself, like, just because it's familiar that doesn't mean that it's good. You have to really like branch out of it, you know, and just create newness within yourself. So yeah, let me know in the comments what is on your mind right now listening to this. I know I touched on a lot of different things, but you know, like for me, staying high vibe, like returning to that topic of staying high vibe, you want to surround yourself with likeness of that, you know. So high vibe music, you know, high vibe videos, like watch what you're consuming, right? High vibe food, you know, consuming, what are you consuming? Music, the people around you, food, you know, your environment, material things, like your clothes, like what kind of feelings do they conjure up? Because it's like all those little things are little pieces to the puzzle, you know. So if you haven't heard of Dr. Joe, definitely highly recommend him. You know, listening to a podcast early in the morning, or you know, moving your body, like for me, dancing really gets me high vibe, and just reprogramming my subconscious with powerful affirmations, powerful statements, you know, listening to that on repeat, having that morning routine, that really sets me up for my day, where my day is going to go my way, you know. Because if you own your mornings, you own the rest of your day. It's really easy to, you know, if you start off the day bad, maybe, you know, you're going to have that trickle on to the rest of your day. So owning your mornings, that I think is like the key for me, at least, to having that high vibration, you know. So yeah, but I want you guys to let me know in the comments, how do you stay high vibe? What is there something that you guys do that helps you to stay high vibrational? Thanks.